Oh, should we take a minute or two to take a look ahead at the bombshell that is UFC 262? Al, I'll let you take the lead on this one, man. What do you wanna touch on first here?
Yeah, it's super unfortunate that we lost the Diaz Leon Edwards fight, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm pumped though that they're keeping that fight a 5-round fight. It's being moved to UFC 263, and it's the co-main event. So Moreno Devison Figueiredo is going to play second fiddle to Edwards Diaz, which I'm cool with. I'm down with big fights like that being co-main events, and UFC 263 is a whole other story. That's going to be a bomb card, but UFC 262, if you guys watch this show, you already know where I'm at, and it's Charles Oliveira. Although I will say this, some pretty heavy buyback has come in on Oliveira since the last time we talked. We were almost at pick'em, right? We were at like minus 115 on both sides, and now Oliveira is back to like minus 130, which is pretty disappointing. But fight week, we'll get that Chandler money to come back in for sure.
I think so too.
And then it just comes down to, just to quickly break it down, we saw Charles Oliveira take Kevin Lee's best shots. He ate them without really being phased. He never stopped going forward. He took punches from Mount against him, like he was like Kevin Lee was raining down him on ground and pound. And Oliveira is just even when the guy has his guard stacked on him and he's coming down on him, he's just so he's just got so many skills. He's so well classed in every position on the ground. And it's if it comes down to a wrestling game or a grappling game, Charles Oliveira all day has the advantage here. And even at minus 130, you're getting some really good value. And I'm really actually not very good with predicting line movement, but I do think that Chandler's going to get some money. He's sitting at best odds right now plus 120, so we'll probably see that go down. So I think Charles Oliveira is the play. Also, the inside the distance, we finally have that now. Inside the distance on Charles Oliveira. This is interesting. Plus 110. So they're basically saying if they're saying, if Oliveira wins this fight, he's going to do it inside the distance.
Yeah.
Because Oliveira by decision is plus 550. And then fight goes the distance no is minus 365. I'm not the type of person to ever give advice for parlays, but that's a parlay piece. Fight goes the distance no in this one, because it's the last fight of the night. You'll be able to come in on the other side at a big plus 250. I think that minus 365 for fight goes the distance no in this fight is I'm going out on a limb here, but I don't think there's any way this fight goes decision. Like, one of these guys is getting either slept or tapped out. Just the way that both of these guys are, they're pretty high volume. Chandler is I think he's just a one-trick pony, man. He's got a good he's got some power in his hands. I don't think he's as good as wrestling as people think he is, and I think that he's a bad matchup against Oliveira. Straight up, what do you think?
I'll tell you, I think he's got some pretty good wrestling, that's for sure. I mean, the guy, training partner of Kamaru Usman, I definitely think he can wrestle. At the same time, though, he's not a real wrestle-heavy guy. He's one of these guys that's falling in love with the power in his hands. You know what I mean? Like, he's going out there to knock dudes out, and then if he has to, falls back on the wrestling. I'm with you, man. As the fight approaches, I do. I'm on Oliveira. I think and I'm with you too on this fight, more than likely finishing. Like, it's just both guys. I mean, Chandler finishes his last fight. Oliveira is just finishing absolutely freaking everybody and doing it with the quickness even. I definitely think there's a good chance this fight ends probably within the first 2 rounds, probably 3 tops, I think. So I don't even think we get into championship rounds in this matchup. Yeah, definitely disappointed we lost the Diaz matchup. That was going to be a good fight. You guys, we already went over that. You guys got my very strong opinion on that one. What else do we have on this card? Let me take a look here. We've got, oh yeah, T. Ferg, Beneil Dariush. You know, I touched on that a little earlier. Yeah, I'm going to be on the Dariush side here. You know, it's just Tony Ferguson's not that same guy. We saw Beneil Dariush absolutely handle the grappling from Carlos Diego Ferreira, who looked, you know, pretty on point tonight until he just ran out of gas. I like Dariush for sure. I think Tony Ferguson's most likely path to victory is going to be hitting Dariush with one of those weird sharp elbows, something real unorthodox that he maybe can catch Dariush. We know Dariush can be susceptible to eating shots and to getting hurt. So I think that's Tony's best chance. But if he lets Beneil really get going and drag this fight into deep water, I think it might not look a whole lot different than the fight against Oliveira did. So that's interesting. Jack Hermanson, Edmund Shabazian. I'm not really sure about that. I probably lean Shabazian. Chukagian Arujo, really no clue there. Burgos Barboza is a really good fight. Jacare Souza versus Andre Muniz. And I see my man Will talking about that one in the chat. Yeah, it is interesting, man. It absolutely has my interest peaked. I'm probably seeing it very similar to how you are. But, you know, I think the thing is, the way this is lined, how it is, Muniz looks great. He's on a serious tear. He's tapping fools out. And we know Jacare has some of the best BJJ in the game. So is Jacare going to be able to nullify that? Man, I really don't know. But at this point, we're talking about an aging Jacare who just does not appear to be that same guy against one of these young guys that I'm pretty high on right now coming into the game, who looks to be on a killing spree. So I am interested. Matt Schnell, Rogerio Bontorin. I like that. Grundy Venata. Man, I really don't know what to think about Venata. I do like what I see from Grundy. Andrea Lee Shevchenko, Pickett versus Wright. That's very interesting. I think I got that one figured out. Mazzani Cachoeira. Oh, my God. We got Priscilla Cash Me Outside coming back in this one. And I don't know, man. But then again, Gina Mazzani, she ain't exactly lighting the world on fire. Kevin Aguilar, Tucker Lutz. I really don't know there. And then Sean Soriano, Christos Giagos. I'm really not sure. But, man, the top, the pay-per-view portion of that card, absolutely going to crush. Al, is there anything you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I think full fade on Jacare because I feel like the book is out on Jacare. I feel like coming off such a bad loss to Kevin Holland that don't go out there. Muniz shouldn't go out there and try to grapple. He's just got to go out there swinging. And even if it's not the most technical, I feel like he only has to touch Jacare a little bit and he's going to drop because he's an old dude and he's coming off. That was he got flatlined by Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
When was that? That was in December. So he's got, it's been
a while.
5 months, but still, man, that was such a bad knockout. And I feel like an aging guy like that, I would have to say full plus money. I think you got to fade Souza there. And then I'm seeing now, Edmund Shabazian did get beat up pretty badly by Derek Brunson, but I don't know if he should be a plus 150 underdog to Jack Hermanson. Like Jack Hermanson is pretty good, but I don't know if his striking is the same level as Shabazian. That's a tough fight. I have to break it down more, but I feel just my gut. I feel like Shabazian is the side there. And then everything else, I still haven't gotten into. My picks right now are Oliveira for sure, and then Dariush for sure. Dariush is we've also seen a little bit of buyback, but Dariush, like for sure, the public is going to come in on Tony Ferguson. Like
I hope so.
Me and you, we both see it. Like I see so many people in the comments on my channel and your channel, not liking what we said about Tony Ferguson, but it's all true, man. And I take nothing away from him, but I've heard, I want to get your opinion on this quickly before we wrap it up. I heard someone say he's one of the greatest lightweights of all time. What do you think about that? I don't think that's I don't think that's accurate.
I mean, from an entertainment standpoint, from like a
Yeah,
sporting standpoint, sure. From an accomplishment standpoint, probably not. I mean, he ain't on my Mount Rushmore of lightweights. But you know what? I've never been as high on Tony Ferguson as a lot of people were. Like I said, and I say it every
same.
week, people every week used to tell me Tony Ferguson was going to dismantle Habib. And nah, not then, not now, not ever. Habib was going to smash this dude up. So,
Yeah, like if we're comparing legacies, I would say Anthony Pettis is closer to being one of the greatest lightweights of all time as compared to Tony Ferguson. I don't mean any disrespect to Tony Ferguson's legacy, but like when you say one of the greatest lightweights of all time, we're talking about 25 years of lightweights. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's nonsense to me. And like, yeah, he's super entertaining fighter. That doesn't mean he's one of the greatest of all time.
Sure.
That's,
and I mean, you know, a lot of things have changed, Al. We're talking about a guy who, you know, interim title, 11 fights, 1 in a row. You know what I mean? Like at one point, yeah, the dude had some serious momentum, but now we're talking about a guy that's lost 2 in a row, maybe even going to lose 3 in a row. Like, yeah, that really changes things. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know, Al. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, but let's let the angry people, they can bet against us and then come back next Saturday. And if you want to, you can, spit it in our face if Tony wins this fight, but he's not going to. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go as hardlined as you. I think Tony could win this fight, but yeah, I definitely think I'm going to end up on the Dariush side, just all things considered. So, all right.